Hello and welcome back to Off Track Podcast with me, Dave Neal. This episode is proudly sponsored by SAF Holland, who are known for delivering quality axles, suspension, braking systems and telematics to the truck, trailer and bus industries, and are proud sponsors of JR Performance in the National Superstock Championship. This is the first episode of 6 from the World Superbike Championship event at Donington Park, and what a way to get it started. It's the elder of the two Lowe's twins by about 2 minutes. It's ELF MarcVDS man, Sam Lowe's. Enjoy.
Excellent. Sam Lowe's, Mark VDS, World Superbike. Great to see you again, mate.
How are you doing? All right?
Really good, thank you.
I brought the sun with me.
You done right?
Yeah, I've done all right.
Knock Hill was shit.
I watched it actually.
Yeah.
Especially Sunday, but I didn't look.
No.
I thought, well...
We've had better days.
Yeah, I've had better days.
Well, this was more Snetterton, you see.
Yeah,
Snetterton was good.
Yeah, I spoke to Leo.
Really, really good. Mate, it's great to see you at Donington Park. 12 months since we sat down with you last time.
Yeah.
You've made progress.
Yeah.
Progress is looking really, really good. And I know when we spoke last year, it was about adjusting to the bike, adjusting to some of the circuits, the tyres particularly. But the progress is there now. You're averaging sort of top 5, top 6, top 7. It's and getting closer to Alex, getting closer to the front. How's it from the pilot seat?
No, good. A lot better. Now just to be more consistent, know what I'm doing, understand the bike a lot more, feel what's going on. Yeah, it's good. I just needed, it's a big change in it from Moto2 to come here and then getting it just the way last year went and not quite gelling with everything. But this year, I feel good, feel better and happy really. Just happy with how it's going and, say happy. I am happy, but
riders and
you're never happy. But I'm happy with the consistency.
Yeah.
So we're there every week, more or less, top 5 or 6 and doing better. But yeah, of course, you want to be fighting for the podium. The top 2 at the minute have a step, but everyone else, I feel competitive enough and I need to be fighting for that podium a little bit more, which we are. But there's a group between 3rd and 6th, 7th. We're all every race quite close. So it's, I just need to make a step.
There was a huge amount of experience in that 3rd to 7th.
Yeah.
And you're being probably the least experienced of those 4 riders.
That
I think people underestimate.
Yeah. Well, it did Mazzano test. I felt like I was sort of in the front of that group, let's say. I was on pace, but the race, when the temperature gets up, still my little, not Achilles heel, because it's the same for everybody, but you know, when the track temperature is above that 50, that famous 50 degrees, and the Pirelli starts moving, I just then fall back into some old habits with the braking, like more old Moto2 style, let's say, and don't stop the bike well enough, and then you do same old polymer lean angle and wide, so I just need to get my head around that a bit more. The feel of because the Pirelli is, even though I did obviously use it years ago, it was a lot different in Super Sport, 2013.
But it's a different bike. It's a
different bike, and years of so it's small details, but at all the levels now, it's only little details anyway. But I'm figuring it out. Mazzano, I probably chose the wrong tyre. I went with a hard front tyre both races thinking it would be better, but then you miss a bit of performance that you give away that bit. If you don't come good at the end of the race, which was hard, you're giving too much away. So yeah, it's all experience, let's say, even at the position I'm in now, and but it's trending in the right way.
Do you think that it's underestimated how difficult it is to make that transition from Moto2 to World Superbike? People look at you and go, you're a Grand Prix racer. You should technically be able to do this.
Yeah. Yes and no. I think they do. I think obviously if you look at the field, and I think sometimes people, well, whatever championship you're in, obviously in that moment, that's the most important. So that's not just for riders, that's for people that are everyone that's involved in that, each specific category now. So then it's easy not to give enough respect for certain things, like people in the Grand Prix paddock maybe would not give enough respect here, but not really in a bad way, just because they're in their bubble. And you're here, and I've been lucky to race against nearly everyone, because I've been there a while. So I and obviously then following this category loads because of Al, I didn't have that same feeling. So I knew Al, the level of everything. But maybe some people, not that they don't, because once then the people come over, especially even mechanics come over from GP Twitter, it's tough here, isn't it? Well, yeah, obviously it's tough. Do you know what I mean? You've got Grand Prix winners, and Petrucci and that, he's won in loads of different categories. He's obviously a good rider, on a good bike, but people just maybe don't quite see that sometimes. But that's okay. Do you know what I mean?
It's world level racing.
Part of it, yeah.
It's still world level racing. And we're finding that in BSB at the minute with Brad coming back.
Yeah.
And looking at what Brad's doing. And Brad didn't have anywhere near the results that you've had. And look what he's doing to the BSB field after 2 years in World Superbikes. He explained how you'll do this coming from GPs. You have got to be half a second under lap record pace.
Yeah.
From FP1. And it doesn't matter whether that's Grand Prix racing or World Superbikes.
Or BSP, all of it.
BSP
The level of all of the classes is so high now. And it's also so important, the people around you, the bike, the situation. You know, if you're a bit off, it's tight. So a bit off is a lot off. And when things are going in, and I had it a bit last year, when things aren't quite what you think, and then you miss a bit of confidence, then you start searching for something that maybe you don't need to search for, and is a spiral. Do you know what I mean? Because then you're not actually riding as good as you can because of everything that's going on. So then the gap's even bigger. So it's circumstantial for everyone, you know. And no one's in the perfect situation. And when you, like Brad now's jumped on that bike, obviously he's a competitive bike in BSP trim, great team, and he's, you know, good crew chief and many things, and full of, you know, trying to prove a point after last year, and good rider, but he's doing well. And I think it's that sweet spot's hard to find, and met a lot of top riders at individual moments when they get in that can do that performance. And I think it's nice. It's really nice when you're in that, but when you're searching to get into that, it's always is different as well. It's a tougher job. But yeah, now all the classes, FP1 and with a, you know, racing in BSB and here, you're racing Saturday afternoon, aren't you?
Yeah.
So if your Friday's not mint, or the weather, or you're missing you've not got much time, because obviously by racing Saturday afternoon, you're qualifying Saturday morning, so you've got Friday. And I'm seeing that if you have a good Friday, you have a good weekend.
Dictates the weekend.
You have a difficult Friday, yeah, you have to really knuckle down. And I won't say damage limitation, but like, I lost FP2 in Misano and it affected my weekend. And you think, well, that can't be, you had to test it. But it is, it's momentum and 1/10 and half a tenth, and that's the level. And that's good. It's amazing.
Planets have to align, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of planets aligning for riders, for teams, for mechanics, for everything.
But I think also
there's so many variables.
So many variables. And if you can do a good winter, or you just jump on the bike and feel good straight away, and your base is solid, it's half the battle. Like now, you see Brad in, like you pointed out, FP1, bang, he's there every time. Well, then every lap you do then from that lap, because you're up to speed straight away, every lap you do after that is a usable lap. If it takes you half a session to get up to speed, you've got 15 laps maybe. So then it's nice. It's little bits, but that's what we're trying to get to. So
but this is what I'm leading on to, because this is now what you're working your way to. You're comfortable with the team. I know from last year there were a couple of a couple of internal changes and things to make it right for the whole team.
Yeah.
Because the whole balance has to be right. Yeah. Not just for you, but for crew chiefs, for mechanics, all the way to hospitality and to media as well. Everything.
This year is massive change with the crew chief and the mindset and the way of working. And obviously, so I'm not even scared to say it, but the best bike in World Superbike is the Ducati. That's obvious. It's not but just because you're on the best bike, you still have to get the most out of it for it to be the best bike, you know. And then that's where the crew and the people work. You've got to get your base, your bike, so you can get the most out of that package, which then makes it be the best bike. If you're only getting half of it out of it, it's not the best bike, or your rider doesn't understand, or whatever. So it's many variables. That it's not just I'll put him on Ducati and he wins every race. No, it's not that simple. Look at, I know there's loads of cases of that, but if you work hard and get it right, the potential of the bike is top drawer, which is great. Also for the rider, for the team, you know, if you do the job, you've got the tools to do it, which is mega, isn't it? Because a lot of people haven't got that. Even if they do the best job on the weekend, maybe the bike's not competitive. So that's also not nice. But it's not simple. So it's amazing being on the best bike, but you need to do it then, because if you're not doing good on the Ducati, it's even worse. You think, well, he's not doing good and he's on that, so it's a double whammy.
Why is he on that and he's down there?
So what's going on?
How difficult was that last year for you to get your head around, from coming back from Moto2 to doing your first year in World Superbikes on a Ducati with the backing of the Mark VDS team? Yeah, and from a personal, but I don't care what fans think. This is about Sam Lowes. This is what you think. How difficult was it for you to get your head around last year?
I think as a rider, you always, I said it, and I even said it, like I said, all I want to get to in Superbike or the class I'm in is when I feel like I understand everything and I'm right, that's the best I can do. On that day, I'll judge how I can do in Superbike. But until I get to that point, I don't know what people say. If you're not getting the most out of yourself or the bike, or you're not understanding what's going on, you're not going to win anyway, whatever class you're in.
Exactly.
So for me, it wasn't that bad. I knew I was nowhere near what I could do. I didn't understand it. I couldn't ride the bike every lap the same. I was struggling. The dynamic in the team was not great with the crew chief. I didn't get along well. There was the wrong person for me, for sure. So it just didn't work. And that's So I was more just frustrated because like the results weren't there, but I knew I was not riding anywhere near what I could do. If I was riding my maximum, felt like I was getting the most out of myself and I was getting them results, you'd feel bad, but it's just where you are. So, but I knew that wasn't the case. It wasn't too bad, but it's when you're in it and everything's on top of you, it's obviously you feel differently, don't you? But then I was injured and many things, but it's I've done it long enough now, this job, and been in many good situations, amazing, and many bad situations that I understand that there ain't many people that are going home Sunday night thinking that was amazing. And even if they're winning, so no one's got the perfect situation. And I think you've got to think that, otherwise it's easy to look what they've got, he's got. So I just tried to stay in my lane, improve over the winter, change some stuff, and I think that's showing now.
How have you improved since, in fact, I'll rephrase that. How much more is there to come from you from the time we sat here 12 months ago? Yeah. And how much more now is there to come from the bike? Have things turned round a little bit more now that you're pulling more from the bike rather than from yourself? Yeah,
I think we've got a better base setting, so we're there. And I would say, if I think the best I've ridden in my life, or my confidence and feeling is the 100%. Let's say last year I was at 70%. I didn't understand, so I wasn't riding good, but I didn't understand the bike, so is everything together. Now there's a few. I'm at 90 something %, but 92, 3, because still I need to make another step with my riding, with the consistency, with my braking, really just to make another step here. So there's more to come, and there needs to be, because we're missing to the top guys. But I feel like if I ride the best Sam Lowes can ride, I can be really strong, like another step stronger. To win or not, I don't know, but to be on the podium, to be there, I feel like I have that capacity. I think the team and bike do. So that's what I feel like. So until I get to that, we'll see. I've got 2 more years to see if I can do it. So let's see.
It's almost like you can see my notes from.
Oh yeah.
I'm barely even looking down. But congrats on a new 2-year deal with the team.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's nice.
How much confidence does that give you now going forward that you have 2 years? I guess I'm thinking ahead. Are you swapping to the new V4S when it comes out
next year's
for the next 2 years? The brand new bike next year, which from what I hear from the S version is incredible. It's another step again.
Yeah.
So you have this year to get used to to really come to the fore in World Superbikes, and then the 2 years then to kick on. It feels like a great position to be in for you.
Yeah, it's nice. It was after Moss race, the boss, Mark, obviously texted me saying, look, I'm really happy how it's going, real solid performance, and I want you to be in rider 2 more years. So it's nice for me to get that. And I'm lucky that I've done quite a lot of years in the Moto2 in the Grand Prix, and I've come here, it's like, not starting again in some ways, but it's all new. So it still feels fresh. I'm learning all the time, and that's quite a unique position. I'm 34. To be in that is nice. So to get a 2-year deal is nice, and I feel like I've got to get my teeth into it, and I've still got a lot to learn. So Moto2, I was at the end. I'd done what I could do, and a bit more consistency potentially, but I had no more to go, and I was a bit over it. Now it's like all fresh, all new. I've got, I'm still in the building phase, so that's nice. Obviously, fantastic team, fantastic support. We're going to get even more support from Ducati next year. So all these is all positive. But yeah, just knuckle down, make some more steps this year, and obviously Top Lat's going to MotoGP. Yeah. Probably be some people coming in or moving around, so the series will change a bit. And it's probably better that he's going, better than trying to beat him. So he's nice, so like that. And then
if you can't beat him,
yeah. See you later, mate. So he's he's a great guy.
Thanks for joining us.
But yeah, so I think there's a lot of positives in the sense that crew chief and team and bikes, new bike is also interesting, Yes. So all these things is a rider that's been in Moto2, which is amazing bikes. They are amazing for what they are, but let's say more basic in some ways, but then you have to be well polished because they're more basic. You've got to get everything out of it. So now, even the fact of new bike and completely new, and it's interesting, and I'm really loving that part of Superbike.
And the joys of social media, your father-in-law must be over the moon to have you for another 2 years.
Yeah, no, I've seen all them, I've seen all them on the old...
I don't even understand what that is.
It's obviously my wife being the team manager or team director, or I don't know the exact title she had, but runs the team here and Moto2 and her and Patrick. So obviously there's all that involved. It's nice. I don't really care what people say. I find it funny.
You've got to.
Yeah, I've got to find it. I love it because obviously when I first joined the team was 2020 was my strange year with COVID, but it was my first year with the team, and 2019 wasn't my best year. So I'm not saying I deserved it or not. It was questionable maybe for some people. I get it. And then the year after, I was 9 points off winning the championship in Moto2, which is not easy to do.
It's not shabby.
So Mark loves it because he's sort of been paid back his belief in me, and 2016, I was in Aragon and I managed to win the race in Moto2, and Alex Marquez and MarcVDS was on the podium with me, which is obviously both VDS riders at the time, and myself. And there we had a cuddle because I was already with Marino and talking to Mark. And he said to me one day on my bike, at the time was number 22, which obviously now is not. And that was like and it was obviously a few years later, but it was nice to do it. And now it's been a long relationship. So really grateful to Mark, to Patrick, Patrick Cameron, who runs the team with Marino. And but yeah, he's not my father-in-law anyway.
No,
but if he was, I wouldn't be racing, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but I'll be slogging out every week, 11 weekends a year trying to make a decent life for Marina and daughter and the family. No.
Well, I'd be here, but I wouldn't be riding.
I'd be running it.
I was thinking he would ride the bike.
Team boss, from that point of view. No, it's great. And they are, the team and Mark, they're loyal to their riders because they respond to the effort you put in.
Yeah.
And the same with Jake. Everything is there. Everything's lined up. So it's a great position to be in.
Yeah, he's different in the sense of there's no like manufacturer, let's say, to behind, or even no big sponsor. We have real grateful to ELF and Beta, two good sponsors, important sponsors, and they put a lot in. But obviously Mark puts the most in, especially over this Moto2 and endurance. He's in quite a lot. And he's really good with riders. If you're correct with him, he just wants you to be professional, do your best. He knows racing. He's been around it a long time. Things happen. One weekend, he's not like, so you need to perform, but he understands as well. But if you do the game and do the potential and be correct, be a correct person and correct with the people and show potential, then Mark will stick by you and give you the opportunity. Like Alex Marquez was a long time with the team in Moto2. In the end, he won. So it paid off and he deserved it and the team deserved it. So I think he's really lucky. Mark's a great guy. The team's great. The team's fantastic. In Superbike is new. And maybe last year, not underestimated it because they knew how hard it was. But it's technical. You need to understand it and you need to do it to understand it. So it was. I think they've got a long future ahead in Superbike, long after I'm riding the bike. So that's great. And I think Mark is loving it. He's absolutely loving it.
It's important as well, then, to keep him happy and keep him interested as well, because he loves the sport.
Yeah, loves it. Yeah,
and that's a great thing. So I guess he's been a part of the team for the time that you have.
Yeah.
It helps you as a person as well because he's a unique character.
Yeah.
And being around him and learning from him as well. Because I'm a big believer in it that as people, and this is a little bit deep, we're the sum of the parts of everybody we've ever met.
Yeah.
And you build yourself, take the good bits of everybody. And for somebody as
follow I've not got many friends, is it? Is that what you're trying to say? No, but I agree. I think if you surround yourself with good people and right people, and Mark's a great person, and if a lot of people maybe treat him differently for the obvious reasons that he's in his family and his life, he's been in a great position. But he's also a great person, and if you see past that and respect, he's a really good. All these people, all of us working here, myself, all the riders in Moto2, and the mechanics and the people it's lovely. It's amazing to be able to do that to people, and I think he loves it. The last few years in Moto2, he still loves it. He loves Moto2 and he's continuing there. He's not, but Moto2 because he's getting older and it's hard to follow Moto2 with all the overseas because it's not MotoGP, which is fair. I'm the first to say that. So it gets less coverage, especially when there's what must be 10 overseas, is it? Maybe a bit less, maybe 9 overseas. Yeah, so at the middle of the night. And so if you're not getting up to watch and the coverage is a bit, you're not seeing as much. And I'm not saying he felt a love of it because he loves it and he's committed there. They changed the bike, but Superbikes he's up again. He's even more into again, which has helped both classes because he watches it. He watches Superbikes. He's always got stuff to watch and going on. And I think that's great. Keep see his bike. Yeah, exactly. The enthusiasm there. And it's not. And if you're watching it but you don't see your bikes or see it because it's not shown or there's a 15-minute quali on a Saturday in Moto2, that's all you get. Because if maybe you're watching it in Switzerland, they don't show FP3, so you don't get. And I think it's easy not to fall out of love with it, but it costs a lot and a lot of effort. So I think now he's got the best of both. Normally when they clash, he's in it's mint. And I think, he loves it more than ever. And when you do good, he always sending me messages and pictures and all the team. It's great. It's a privilege to be part of the team.
We want 2 more years of it as well, and rewarded with a podium at Assen.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Already. So the podium's there. That's one box ticked, isn't it, for this season?
Yeah, podium's there, poles there. Yeah, now I need that few more podiums. And then make a step. We're close. So we just need. I think I've had 4 or 5 fourths, a lot of fifths. So it's nearly there. I need next step, and it's all from riding styles. I'm still 95%. Not. I need a break, and in practices, because my speed's probably been a bit better than my results, only a little bit, because in practices, you can do your 5 laps, but in the race, your race situation is normal, especially the first laps of the race, full tank of fuel, maybe I brake a bit more old style, and then you lose a bit, and you look at end of races, I'm sort of there. So I'm still just missing that, but that's because naturally it's normal. When you can think about it, you do it. But at the start of the race, you're thinking about nothing. You're thinking about the reactions, aren't you?
But you've got people in your way that you didn't have before, and you're reacting to the situation.
So at the minute, it's just not quite subconscious, and not quite, nearly. Well, last year it was like...
it's making it muscle memory, isn't it?
Last year was like, you're not doing that. No, but it's an evolution,
but it's
isn't it?
part of the process.
And especially at 34 years old, it's harder to change. Isn't it? It's normal. It's just part of life. It's not
just about remember being 34.
Yeah. I thought I was 28, but I don't know. It says 34. I think
in my head, everybody's still younger than they should be.
Yeah, but it just takes a bit longer, and it does. It's hard, because I can be fast riding now I did before. So then you're still fast, so you sort of don't put as much effort into certain bits because you think, well, I can be fast like that. But really, no, Superbike, you've got to ride it like that. The Ducati's, but ride it like that and you can be fast. So you need to ride it like that, basically.
They're riding it like that for a reason.
Exactly.
Same in Moto 2.
Yeah.
When you look back to Rory's season, he didn't get the opportunity to learn how to ride.
But it was all right there, because people say, like the Calex would get there and say, ride a bit like Sam, which that's all right, because I was doing all right. Just a bit more consistent, but like that. Yeah, do that.
That's it. That's where it
but
needs
now it's
to
not
be.
like that. It's like riding like someone else. I'm like, what? Yeah, fuck it. Oh, yeah. So,
now I've got to turn it around again.
Yeah.
Right, I know we are pushed for time a little bit.
There you sound.
We have our patrons that we didn't get a chance to do last year. Now I'm going to apologise to Georgia in advance because I don't vet these. These come straight out because our patrons are brilliant. They contribute monthly to the podcast to let us do things like this, which is fantastic. So a big thank you to the patrons. First one is Andy Dickinson. Is being in a single rider team an advantage or a disadvantage when it comes to things like bike setup and improving the bike through the race weekend?
It's an advantage that you always beat your teammate, so that's nice because there's no one to beat. I would say in any other manufacturer would be a disadvantage, but with Ducati and with the way they work with the data sharing, that honestly you don't miss too much because we have all 8 bikes. So every Ducati, not just me, or the factory team, it goes. So the data goes both ways. So actually, apart from potentially sometimes tyres, because you get more of a quick, if your teammate tries one and you try the other one, you get real-time information on that, which you can get after, but it's always a question mark. But for everything else, I would say, because of Ducati and their way of working, it doesn't make a difference.
Excellent. Brilliant. Andy, thank you. He says good luck for the weekend.
Thank you very much.
Simon Breeze, does Sam feel that in the future he will be involved in motorcycle racing as a team manager or mentor in another capacity aside from riding?
Yes, I would say 100%. My God, I've been lucky. Obviously, I have a 2-year contract now, which is nice. See how that goes. But yeah, I'd love to stay involved. Also, my wife's involved, so I'd love to be involved in a manager or rider coach or this sort of style of thing. And I love racing. Yeah, I wouldn't last long as a chef. Well, I'd get kicked out very quick. But yeah, it's my whole life. It's everything that I have a big passion for it, and that won't stop just because I stopped riding.
So how many years has it been now? When was Double Vision racing?
Double Vision racing like 03, was it? 03, 02, 03, 04.
22 years.
Yeah. So I can't remember what last day I would have worked for Dad, but it would have been early 2010, so that's a while ago. Pulling cables. I haven't pulled many cables since then. And the throttle cable. I don't even have that now.
I don't even have that now. No, long may that continue. Brilliant. Thank you for that, Simon. Chris Turner, what was the hardest thing about swapping from Moto 2 to World Superbike?
Hardest 2 things were the weight of the bike, so you have to anticipate a lot more, and the tyres.
Excellent.
Also because I changed, like in Moto 2 when they changed the tyres, everybody changed tyres. Whereas here, they all knew the tyres, and I was coming in. That's what made the difference. You see it more because they're on it. And with Pirelli, you have to be bang on it because the potential's high, but you need to understand them.
He's understanding the drop off and everything.
Bang, you need to be out of the pits and do the time. Otherwise,
straight on the times. His second question, just how bad was the Aprilia in MotoGP?
For 8 rounds, it was not bad. The bike was not bad. The problem was in the team, and it was a hard time for them. They was developing a lot quickly, and Aleix was pushing hard, which is fair enough. And there was never 4 bikes the same, so not even everything was going so fast that I was a rookie was hard work, and the decision to change me for the year after was let's say this time of year.
Yeah.
So then they definitely don't want you to do any good because then that's what was hard. Yeah, the bike wasn't bad. It wasn't the best bike on the grid. It had good potential, and when it all worked, it was good. But there was a lot of things going on, and sometimes I was a massive lesson for me in the racing is not just on the track; it's everything behind. So, yeah.
If you knew that, this isn't a question from Chris, but if you knew then what you knew now, would you make the same decision?
I had an option actually. I signed in 2015 to go to Aprilia, even though I rode it in 2017.
Yeah.
So I did a year with Cassini in Moto2. But I actually was meant to go in 2016 to MotoGP already, which, if you think, I was in World Supersport 2013, didn't know anything, hardly looked at data, then did 2 years of Moto2 and was going to MotoGP. I wasn't really ready for it. So I had an extra year, and at the time I had the chance to get out my contract, and I should have done it, and I could have come to VDS then, and I should have done it. Probably wouldn't have met my wife if I'd have done it that way around, which would have been which would have been terrible. No, I'm joking. But everyone can say that, can't they?
Of course you can.
I think I should have waited and tried to win Moto2, like I did try for many years, but tried to and gone. But everyone can say that. It was the wrong thing to do looking back, but I don't regret it.
Good. Because that takes on, thank you for that, Chris. That takes us on to Craig Lowe's question, the final question from us. Any regrets during your career so far?
Yeah. I regret crashing in FP3 in 2020 when I broke my hand, because it was on the Saturday, so I still had the Sunday race, so that's like the second to last round. I know it was all together because COVID won it.
Yeah.
And then the last round, so it was like 1.5 rounds to go, but the 2 races to go. So I only got 14th the next day, and then third, which basically lost me the championship. So it was a silly crash in FP3. I regret that because I could have finished 6th in them 2 races and been world champion, which I could have done at that time because I was in a good moment. And crashing in FP1 at Silverstone, because in 2022, it wasn't a mega start to the year for me really, but it wasn't for anybody. And at the time, Augusto ended up winning the championship, and even though I was having not a great year, he was only a few points in front of me in the championship. No one was trying to win it basically. And I'd sort of figured a few things out, but then I did my shoulder and I lost the second half of that year. So I regret that, because that injury then basically ended I know I got a win in 23, but it basically ended my Moto2 career. So probably at them 2 things. All the rest of it, you chose the ride you chose. Do you know what I mean? So the Aprilia thing, I don't regret any of that really.
And to finish on a high, what's your greatest moment so far?
Difficult. My greatest moment.
Is it still to come?
Yeah, I hope so. No, but winning the Supersport Championship was good, because World Championship's a World Championship. Winning my first Grand Prix in America was massive, because to come from where I'd come from, or anybody, to win a Grand Prix is amazing. And then to win in 23 against Acosta in Jerez, having a year and a half of just injuries, and people never know how low you go when you're injured. That was a massive achievement. In my head, it was an amazing day, but it's the same day I decided to stop Moto2, so it was a strange day. But them 3 points are probably things I'll always remember, yeah.
It's definitely more to come. We need your first win, the first win here.
We need it.
We need it in front of your home fans. You've got your podium.
Yeah.
Everything's coming together. Sam, it's great to see you so happy and so positive.
Perfect.
Best of luck for the rest of the weekend, mate.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Lowe's.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Sam for his time on the Thursday, and to Georgia at ELF MarcVDS for arranging the chat in the first place. A couple of unfortunate DNFs for Sam over the weekend, but a fantastic podium in the Superpole race, and wish Sam and the ELF MarcVDS team all the very best for the rest of the season. In our next episode from Donington Park, it's Rocket BMW World Superbike Champion Team Boss Sean Muir. I can't wait to bring you that one, and a massive thank you once again to our episode sponsors, Saf Holland. If you've got this far and you enjoy what we do, please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching, and do look after yourself. Bye-bye.